Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Steven Universe review. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at That Will Be All. This is the final episode of the Steven Bomb, and the final episode of the leaks. I thought we were done with, because as far as I know, Gem Harvest didn't leak, and 3 Gems and a Baby leaked just a few hours before it came out. I thought, maybe we're finally done with this, right? Nope, a month early. This episode, again, support the original creation. This episode airs on February 3rd, literally a month after I'm recording this video. So yeah, again, try to watch it if you can. I will, of course, because that's what you got to do for doing these early. But if you can't, you can always buy the episodes on iTunes. That's a good way to show support, or buy official merchandise, right? That's another way. But yeah, and with that, let's get into it. So, this one starts off, right? So, at the end of the last episode, Greg and Steven were captured by an Amethyst. And in this one, it starts off, they're taken to this room filled with all these Amethysts. And as far as they know, they've captured our Amethyst. And it's like, oh, this ain't gonna end well. And then, no, the Amethysts, they're all playing a prank on them. The Amethysts are all cool. These are all Earth Amethysts. And Amethyst just belongs, right? She gets along with all these other Amethysts. She even finds out what her cut is. Like, if she, had popped out of the ground earlier, what her cut would have been. Because she finds the gems closest to her. She's like a 8G or 8J or something like that. But, yeah, that's interesting. Like, she's learning to belong. There's this whole family of outcast Amethysts. There's also some others. Like, there's a Jasper who I think his name's, who they call Skinny. That's kind of interesting. And then there's a red Amethyst named Carnelian, who looks just like Amethyst, but she's red and has yellow eyes, and might be a little taller. And I think, people have been pointing out that Peridot mentioned a Carnelian that came out sideways. This may or may not be her. It's interesting, though. But another thing I thought of was, didn't Jasper at some point say, Amethyst, if she were in Homeworld, she would have been shattered for being inadequate. But yet, all these Amethysts, a lot of them are clearly not perfect, still exist. That's interesting. And then Holly Blue comes in and yells at all of them to get off their asses and get to work, because the diamond who spared their life is here. Which, again, goes back to the whole Blue Diamond changing thing, right? She's trying to preserve Pink Diamond's legacy. But Holly Blue says, right, all you useless Earth Amethysts, right, get back to work. And especially you off-color blues, or your off-color betas. So, on the scale of Amethysts, right, there's Earth Amethysts, right, from the Prime Kindergarten. And then even below that is the off-color ones from the Beta Kindergarten. Which, honestly, just makes me feel worse for Jasper. Because she is an off-color one. Right? She's even amongst her own kind, there are still some that are above her. Kind of. Because we know, right? It wouldn't surprise me if she was part of this at one point. But she got out of it. She works for Yellow Diamond now. Well, she did until corruption. But yeah, it just makes it, because, even within her own, she's still a reject. And yeah, it just makes me feel worse for Jasper. This is why I think Jasper's corruption arc is such bullshit. Especially when the show keeps throwing stuff like this. But yeah, that's besides the point right now. So, right, Greg and Steven, Holly Blue comes, right, whisks all the amethysts off. So Greg and Steven kind of run away and end up in this room just filled with bubbles, right? They're with these gems in them, and they are rose quartz gems. Presumably, Pink Diamond rounded up, or one of the diamonds, rounded up all of the rose quartz gems and bubbled them all. They're all just sitting in bubbles in what was presumably her room. That's all of them. And right, they were supposed to be destroyed, but Blue Diamond's keeping them alive, because again, they're Pink Diamond's legacy. So right, Blue Diamond comes in, she starts crying, and Yellow Diamond follows behind her. And it's like, you need to stop doing this. You just come here and you be sad. How long can this keep going on? And you feel bad for Blue Diamond. You really do. And then it's like, Yellow Diamond tells the Pearls, sing a song for her, make her feel better. And then we get our villain song. This is, right, what's the use of feeling blue? I really like this song. I love villain songs, Poor Unfortunate Soul, Friends on the Other Side, Let It Go, kind of. But yeah, the villain songs are great, and this one is great. If I had a problem with it, I'd say it's not really catchy, but it's still just really good. And one of the things, I had always presumed Homeworld was like this sort of cold place, right? Just heartless, kind of like dictatorship-esque, right? With the diamonds ruling. And based on what Peridot said, 2 seasons ago, I figured that singing didn't exist on Homeworld. But no, it does. So that's interesting. These episodes, these past like 3 or 4, this arc has really changed my perception of Homeworld gems and how their society is not as cold as I expected it to be. How you can have these good, relatable characters, interesting characters. It's so well done. And then, now, when I first heard this song, my first thought was, I didn't believe Yellow Diamond was genuine. There was something about it that just felt off, right? I didn't believe her entirely. But I've listened to the song like nonstop for a few hours, and I believe it. I do believe her now. It is genuine. It is real. That hand, Blue Diamond puts her, right? She's like, what's the use of feeling? And after the end of the song, Blue Diamond puts the hand, and I was like, it is real. It's well done. This is just so great. And even the song, right? It's what's the use of feeling blue in parentheses, right? Because it's what's the use of feeling, right? What's the use of feeling at all blue, right? Because Blue Diamond. But then blue is also sad, right? It's well done. It really is. I really like it. So, Holly Blue, Sapphire and Ruby all walk in, and to report that they brought in another human for Blue Diamond. But of course, and Sapphire panics, right? And it's interesting how Blue Diamond, the second her like subjects walk in, she changes demeanor. Like, not everyone knows she's as sad as she really is. Probably only a few, like her Pearl and Yellow Diamond, and presumably White Diamond. It's an interesting take. But Sapphire bluffs her way out of it by saying, her future vision said that, Blue Diamond wants more humans. And Yellow Diamond asks, has the cluster emerged? Sapphire says no. And Yellow Diamond's like, all you wanted was more to preserve her, or to preserve more subjects? We can do that. And they escape, right? But it kind of leaves, because they're going to make a plan. And I guarantee you, soon, somehow, I don't know if it'll be the diamonds directly, but some first force is going to come to Earth and is going to do something. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if this is going to be what starts the war that me and a lot of other people have been predicting, but it's interesting. Yellow Diamond's definitely arranging a plan here. But yeah, they escape Greg and Steven make it out with Ruby, Sapphire, Pearl, and Amethyst. And they're hiding from Holly Blue. But right as they're getting onto the ship, they get caught. Holly Blue blames all the Amethyst, right? They're at fault. They're the ones who caused this. So she attacks them, and she has this electric whip. Because during the song, right, Yellow Diamond's like, each gem has its use, right? An army goes to war. Interesting how she doesn't mention quartzes, though. A sapphire clarifies, agate terrifies, and lapis terraforms. That's the other one. But an agate terrifies. Again, they're like managers. At least that's how I feel they are. They get their subjects into submission using fear. And then, right, so the Garnet fuses back. The crystal gems fight Holly Blue, just easily beat her. And then they head out, and Pearl's like, and Holly Blue's like, oh, I'll report you to the Diamonds. And Pearl's like, you don't want to do that, because you'll get in trouble for letting a bunch of rebels escape. And yeah, they escape. Holly Blue, right, because none of the Amethyst stop them. They're able to leave, no problem whatsoever. And yeah, that's where it ends. We see the 2 diamond ships orbiting around the station. They're huge. Oh my gosh. And yeah, it's just, this was a really good episode. Of course, now, before, again, like I said earlier, Jasper's corruption kind of annoys me, right? And one of the problems one of the things that people always argued for it was that maybe the show should teach the lesson that not all villains should be redeemable. And I kind of agree, but I don't think it should be Jasper to do it. I thought it should always be the Diamonds. But now that we've seen Blue Diamond, I'm starting to question even that. Because I feel like we could have some sort of arc, not a redemption arc, but more of a, I guess let's say reconciliation arc with Blue Diamond. Or even a Rose Quartz redemption arc. Wouldn't that be interesting? I don't know. There's now a lot more going on. This arc just changed. This episode especially changed my entire perception of of Yellow Diamond. I mean, so it's just interesting, and I cannot wait to see where it goes from here. I hope the next episode's Lapis, Peridot, and Connie defending Beach City. I'm gonna be disappointed if it isn't. But yeah, and then before we end off, I do want to bring up the end credits. Normally, right, we used to, in the first 3 seasons, the end credits was always Love Like You, right? But now that we finished that song off, for a while it was Waves, right? Just the sound of the ocean. But now it's this, I don't even know how to describe this music. It's just fascinating. I recommend you guys listen to it for yourself. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that it's changed again. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.